Skyway Road, the main artery out of town, causing a flaming traffic snarl in which some were burned alive in their vehicles. On this day, it took more than 5 hours to drive down to Chico, as honking cars, full of screaming people, rolled slowly between two walls of fire under a mid-morning sky that was as black as midnight. Prince was one of those people. Most of his teenage football players were, too. When the smoke cleared eventually, one of the few remaining major structures in town was Paradise High School. It is a wooded campus of several main buildings that slopes down to a number of sports fields. Somehow it mostly escaped the flames, and somehow, sitting virtually untouched 2 levels below the classrooms, was the school's crown jewel, a 60-year-old football stadium named after a former legendary Paradise High coach from the 1970s and 1980s, the unflinching Wraith Field. Was that a sign? The current coach didn't think so. 2 months after the fire, sitting at a cluttered desk in a cavernous concrete wing of the school's temporary home in a warehouse at Chico Airport, Rick Prince calculated loss. Of the 104 players in his program, 95 had lost their homes. All of his 8 coaches lost their homes. His varsity squad had been whittled from 76 players to 22 because the majority of families had either left the area or enrolled in schools closer to their temporary homes. The boys' equipment had melted, their uniforms burned. They didn't even have a football. When we finally connected over the phone in the spring of 2019, Prince told me, "I don't know how we're going to have a team. I don't know how we're going to play a schedule. I don't even know if I'm going to have a job." But he knew what he had to do. From that lone remaining field, he would rebuild. With his devastated team, he would try to resurrect the spirit of his destroyed town. "We don't have a choice," he said intently. "The kids need this. The town needs this. Everyone around here needs hope. We're going to try to give them football. We're going to try to be that hope." So, in the face of unrelenting obstacles and against all common sense, they tried to play football. This is their story. 1. The Truck. November 8th, 2018. Long is the way and hard that out of hell leads up to light. John Milton, Paradise Lost. The plan is to practice at 3 today. If it is too smoky, we will modify our activity. I will keep you informed if anything changes. The text was sent on Thursday, November 8th, 2018, at 8:10 a.m. from Coach Rick Prince to the 76 members of the Paradise High Bobcats varsity football team. It wasn't his finest literary moment. There were misspellings. There were typographical errors. He hoped his team would forgive him. As he typed, literally all hell was breaking loose. Prince had followed his usual routine that morning, the same sort of routine that had marked the 60-year-old former high school middle linebacker's 20 years as the leader of the football team representing Paradise. His simple, scheduled life suited him well in this mountain village of about 25,000 people. The locals would bring him their young men. He would teach them all the same and treat them all the same, while relying on the same playbook for 20 years, the same fighting drills, the same climb on the goalpost for 30 seconds punishment if you took off your helmet, and the same hugs when he would send them off into the world, whether to community college or fire school or apprenticeship as an electrician. And the same style of winning, too. In the last 2 decades, Coach Prince's Paradise Bobcats had claimed 10 league titles, 6 sectional championships, and an overall record of 166-54. On that chilly November morning, Prince, stout, balding, white goateed, the portrait of stability, figured he knew exactly what he was doing because he had done it for so long. He awoke in his cedar home at 5:30 in the morning, drove his Toyota Tacoma truck 10 minutes down a winding, narrow road to the cluttered campus of about 1,000 students, parked in the back next to the gym, stepped into the small fitness room, and, by 6, he was working the elliptical machine while reading the Bible.